Hi, welcome to another video tutorial. In this video tutorial I'm going to be going through for loops in Python. A for loop is something that we use to repeat the same code a set number of times. A for loop uses a counter variable, and that's used to count each iteration of the loop. It also uses the inbuilt range function, which takes the arguments start, stop and step, and it's used to define how many times the loop code should be executed. The stop argument is the only argument that must be included in the range function, and the stop argument is used to define the value that the counter variable should reach before the loop can be broken out of. If the step argument is missed out, then it defaults to 1. If the start argument is missed out, it defaults to 0. The step argument defines the number of values missed between each iteration. So, for example, if my start argument was 0 and my stop argument was 30 and my step was 5, the counter variable would skip from 0 to 5 to 10 and increase in 5s instead of going up in 1s. Start argument defines the number the counter variable starts at, very simply. So let's go through some practical examples of this then. I'm going to write a for loop where I just use the stop argument first of all. So x is going to be my counter variable. So I say for x in range 2. So in this loop then we've got for x in range 2. So our stop argument is 2, and it will print the value computing tutor twice. So let's run this code then. So as you can see, it's printed computing tutor twice. That means it's executed this code twice. Let's go through another example then. I'm going to set a variable num equal to 0. So for I in range, and I is going to be my counter variable this time, and 10 is going to be my stop argument. So it's going to execute this bit of code 10 times. If I run this code, what this does is it prints out the values from 1 to 10 for me. And it does this because our value for num starts at 0. The for loop starts, and the first line of the for loop increases its value to 1 because it does 0 plus 1 equals 1. And it prints that out, so that's our 1 there. It then repeats this until the value of I is equal to 10, and it increases the value of I by 1 each time. So that's why we get 1 to 10 printed out here. Let's take a look at another example then. And in this example I'm going to be utilizing all 3 arguments. So if I type num equals 0, for y is going to be our counter variable this time, in range 0, 35, as I explained earlier. Num equals num plus y. And notice I'm able to use the counter variable in my for loop code block. So when this for loop is executing, whatever the value of the counter variable is at the moment, it will add that to num. And I'm going to print out the value of y to show you the value of the counter variable each time, and I'm also going to print out the value of num. Okay, so if we run this code, okay, so I've just added a bit of text here to showing more clearly what the value of our counter variable is and what the value of num is, you could see each time our loop iterates, our counter variable increases by 5, and that is because we've got that step of 5 in there. And you can also see that the value of num increases by 5 the first time, then it increases by 10 the next time, then it increases by 15 the next time. So you can see that that's increasing by an increasing amount of increasing by 5 each time. So it's increasing the value that it's adding by 5, and that's because it's adding our counter variable, and our counter variable is increasing each time the loop iterates. Okay, that's the end of this tutorial video on for loops. Thanks for watching.